Skip, before I give it a letter grade, Stafford is a substantial upgrade over Jared Goff. But it was a steep price to pay. And, Skip, I talked to a man one time that had a lot of money, and he was getting a divorce. And he looked at me dead in my eye. He said, son, there's not a price too steep to pay to get out of a relationship in which you're unhappy. This goes to show you just how unhappy the Rams were with Jared Goff. Skip, they're willing to take the highest dead cap hit in NFL history, $22 million. They were willing to give up 2 first-rounders. Now they go 7 years without a first-round draft pick. They were willing to do that after they just gave a guy $134 million. And we talked about this last week, Skip. It's one thing when the head coach says, offensively, we need to do some things better. Defensively, we need to do some things better. When the head coach says, we need to get better play out of the quarterback after you've given him $134 million a year and a half ago, the writing's on the wall. Les Snead said, they said, well, that's a big, lot of dead money cap hit. Les Snead said the cap can be worked.
Okay. So you're giving it a letter grade of what?
I'm going to give him a letter grade of a C. And let me tell you why I gave it a C, Skip. Matthew Stafford is about to be 33 years of age, and he has an injury history. Remember, now 2018, he missed half the season. He had this year, he had thumb, rib, cartilage damage. In 2019, fractured bone in his back. 2016, dislocated finger. 2011, broken finger. 2010, separated shoulder. Dislocated patella tendon in his knee. Also in 2009. Oh, yeah, by the way, Skip, how many playoff games has he won? Now, Jared Goff did take the team to the Super Bowl. Now, you can say what he wants. You can say, well, that was defense-led and Todd Gurley had a historic year running the football. But that did happen on his watch. But here's this is one of the main reasons, Skip, I ended up getting him a C. In the regular season, people, listen to this. Matthew Stafford is 10-59 in his career versus teams that have made the playoffs. That is the worst of any quarterback in at least 40 starts versus playoff teams all time. They make it seem like they just traded for Patrick Mahomes. You want to think, Skip, I'm not saying Matthew Stafford isn't better than Jared Goff. I believe he is. But given his age, given his injury history, given what he hasn't accomplished, this is not a slam dunk like everybody is portraying it out to be. Does he have substantial arm strength better than Jared Goff? Yes. Do I believe in this offense you're going to see a different Matthew Stafford? Absolutely. But, Skip, given the injury history and what I haven't seen, I've seen him, what year was that? Skip, I want to say, was it 2011, 2012? You remember when against the Packers, he threw for like 521, was about to leave for the day. They sat Aaron Rodgers. Matt Flynn started. That was when Matt Flynn got. That was a big payday game. Matthew Stafford was dealing. I think he ended up having like 521. About to go ahead and lead him for the game when he touchdown and had me at the edge of my seats. And what did he do? Throw a pick to end the game. He's had some great moments, but far too many have ended in, oh, damn, man, you left a lot to be desired. I gave it a C for the simple fact his injury history and what I haven't seen him do in the regular season.
How many games did Matt Stafford start last year for the Lions?
Started them all, I guess.
All 16?
Yeah.
So would you believe that despite all that litany, that long list of injuries that he has suffered through, that he's only missed those 8 games in 2018, the back half of 2018? Since 2011, those are the only 8 games he's missed because he had a serious injury at that point with his back. Okay, so he had to shut it down for the back half of 2018. So for me, you are ignoring the advice of your good friend about the divorce, right? You're saying no to that. There is no, there is a price. There is a price point where you'd say, no, I'm not going to pay that to get out from under this unhappiness.
No, the Rams said the price isn't too steep because clearly they were unhappy.
Okay. My turn. I give this deal a grade of A+.
Wow.
A+. Matt Staffords don't come available in this league very often.
Why they come available?
Matt Staffords don't grow on Southern California trees, as I've told you before. Matt Stafford is a sleeping giant in Detroit, where obviously the Lions have played more like pussycats, and they've been mismanaged, and he's been through a lot. As many injuries as you listed, I can list head coaches in Detroit while Matt's been there, coordinators in Detroit while Matt was there, and obviously quarterback coaches while he was there. The turnover has been extraordinary. It's been excruciating. It's been painful for me to watch because I'm a fan of Matthew Stafford. I think he has superstar capability, and I believe he's going to have a career rebirth in Hollywood with the Rams at SoFi. Once upon a time, there was a great writer in this country named F. Scott Fitzgerald who wrote The Great Gatsby, and his point was there are no second acts in American life. I think this is going to be one of the great second acts, because if suddenly you replace Jared Goff with a guy that you think is better, I think is way better than Jared Goff, and you do give him Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, if they re-sign Josh Reynolds, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers, I'm going to give that offensive line top 5 in the league. And that defense, you love that defense. You love Aaron Donald way more than I do, but it is a loaded defense.
Yes, get Jalen Ramsey. They got
back to front. It is loaded, and obviously, in the secondary, they're strong in the secondary.
Yes,
it could be the best defense in pro football, certainly as it continues to come of age next year. You put that all together, and all of a sudden, you're not just back in business. You're challenging Brady's Bucks next year to be the best team in the NFC. I believe Brady's Bucks will be the favorites, the preseason favorites to win the NFC next year. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, with a new defensive coordinator and a new special teams coach, will have something to say about that. But to me, all of a sudden, the Rams are right back in the thick of it, maybe as the second best team, maybe as the first best. I think they have a chance with Matthew Stafford teaming up with Sean McVay, the young offensive genius that he is, that all of a sudden you're going to see the best of Matthew Stafford, which we saw in glimpses, in dribs and drabs in Detroit.
He's one of 8 quarterbacks that has a 5,000-yard passing season on his resume.
Yep. Okay. So just to back this up, to sum this up, allow me to read a couple of quotes from 2 people that I have some respect for just because they've been around the league so long. And the first one's Bruce Arians, obviously now coaching a Super Bowl team. But Bruce Arians is, in his past, has coached Peyton Manning and coached Big Ben Roethlisberger and coached Andrew Luck and coached Carson Palmer. So he's been around. Now he's seen Tom Brady. And just the other day, he said this about Matthew Stafford. He's one of my all-time favorite guys. He's tough as nails. Like I said the other day, he's one of the few quarterbacks I like going out and watching warm up, just watching him throw because he's so special. I've always felt like he was one of the top 4 or 5 guys in this league for a long time. Like I said, he's as tough as nails, and his guys know it. They know he's going to suck it up for them. So I got that long list of injuries, but his teammates knew that mostly he just played through all of it.
But the injury history doesn't concern you?
It would if he just shut it down and watched a lot of games. But again, it's a tough game that he's playing. I think he'll have the best protection he's ever had next year. And maybe he'll stay a little healthier he's going to turn 33, as you say, in 6 days. Well, he's still 10 years younger than Tom Brady. Right. So, again, could you get, I don't know, 4 or 5 great years out? Yes, you could.
You could, Skip, but here's the thing. He's 10 years younger than Tom Brady. With Tom Brady doesn't have a third of the injuries that he has. I mean, outside of the knee, Tom Brady's basically been injury clean.
As far as we know, but maybe through his days with Belichick, maybe they just hid most of them. Well,
they did. And that's one of the reasons why they had to change the rule.
Okay.
Skip, but you listed all the Cooper Kupps and the Robert Woods. He did play with Megatron. He did play with Roy Williams, who went to the Pro Bowl twice. He did play with Golden Tate. He had Marvin Jones. He had Reggie Bush.
And those are reasons he had all those yards.
Exactly. Yeah. So let's not make it seem like Matthew Stafford was devoid of talent when he was in Detroit. Because Megatron, he is never going to play with a receiver that's better than Megatron.
Nope. I'll buy that. But that's why he shot up to number 16 on the all-time passing list in yards.
Yes.
And I think he's 14th in completion.
Yes.
So he's on the rise, and he's got a long way to go. And if he stays on track, I don't know. Could he start to challenge the guys at the top?
Yeah, I can see if he plays, he's averaging 4,000 yards a season. So could he get to 60, 65,000 yards? Absolutely, Skip.
Okay.
If he plays until he's 40, hell, he could get to 70,000 yards. I have no issue with his ability. There's a reason why they took him number 1 overall.
Yep.
But Skip, how in the hell you can't win the SEC championship when you got A.J. Green and no Sean Marino in your backfield, and you don't win the SEC? How in the hell is that? And you know Georgia is loaded with talent. Every year, they're right there with Alabama and LSU as far as talent.
Yep.
And he was on that roster as the quarterback, and he couldn't get it done. So
Okay.
you don't question that?
I don't. But I don't know. I'd have to go back and really dig through that year to see how it exactly unfolded. But it didn't stop the Lions from taking him number 1 overall.
Because that ability is there. Skip, you look at a guy, 6'3", 225, 230, rocket arm, can throw the ball 75, 80 yards, can make every throw in the book. But there's something to be said about a guy that just doesn't win to the level that you think he should, given his level of ability.
Okay, you might have me on the college level, but not on the Lions NFL level. I just think they're a sorry franchise with sorry management at the top, and it's hard to ask him to rise above that. I just think he's going to have a change of scenery, a change of heart, a change of being revitalized, like can't wait, jumping out of bed in the morning. It smells great out here with that eucalyptus smell. I think this was made for him. And by the way, he's got an off-season home down in Newport Beach, so he loves the area.
With the kind of money he's made, he got a lot of off-season homes.
Okay, well, he'll have another off-season home in Beverly Hills, probably. And his, obviously his closest friend from high school is Clayton Kershaw, so they'll be a little bit more reunited here in L.A. I
don't know what Matt Ryan going to do, because they're very good friends. They got homes next to each other in Atlanta.
Okay, now back to the other quote that I would like to read. This one's from Aaron Rodgers, and he was on the McAfee show the other day talking about Patrick Mahomes and all the no-looks and the left-handed passes and on and on. And out of the blue, Aaron Rodgers said this: I will say this. A guy who probably doesn't get anywhere near the credit for doing this stuff like that all the time. He wears number 9 and plays in Detroit. That dude, what he does with the ball is impressive. It's really, really impressive. That dude is throwing crazy no-lookers all the time, and he can throw from any arm angle. Yeah. So I don't hear Aaron gush about anybody else. I don't hear him volunteer about Brady or Mahomes. He just doesn't talk about
Well, you know why he did that, Skip? Because Pat McAfee was talking about Mahomes throwing the no-look.
Yeah.
And everybody's like,
Okay, well, time out. Just one guy who's overlooked and a little...
Right.
He's saying he's underrated for all the trick passes he pulls off. Is this guy, Matthew Stafford? Obviously, Aaron gets to see him twice a year. He's seen him twice a year for a long time. So he's saying... Don't sleep on this guy. And again, this guy to me is a sleeping giant. And that all got lost in Detroit because they were often bad football teams. They had their moments, but they were often just under the radar bad, off the radar bad. And now he'll be more on the radar at SoFi.
Oh, yeah.
In Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood will make him a much bigger star than Detroit could. That's just me.
Yeah. Well, Skip, if he could have won, because sometimes your talent can supersede even the team. Look at Barry. Barry teams were terrible, but we still believe he's one of the greatest.
And what did he do? He just quit prematurely. He couldn't take it anymore. He said, I'm done. Megatron quit prematurely. Both had several prime years left.
Skip, Barry only played 10 years.
I got it.
People don't realize Barry played 10 years. And this Skip, you're right. His arm talent is second to none. He doesn't have to take a back seat to anybody when it comes to arm talent, because I saw him throw a no-look touchdown against the Tennessee Titans. He's looking over here, and he throws the ball between like 3 defenders at the back of the end zone, and his guys catches. I'm like, how would you even know to throw it that kind of, to throw it in front, throw it between, and the guy catches it? So I'm not debating anything about his ability.
Okay.
Skip, I believe he's going to be in the MVP discussion in this offense, because I know what the West Coast offense can do to guys. And he's going to be in that discussion.
Okay.
But
Would you also agree he'll be surrounded by the best team he's ever played with and in the middle of, right? It'll be the best team he's ever had.
Top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
From the top to the bottom.
And I'm talking about including the defense. It'll be the best team.
Oh, yeah, no question.
It well could be the best offensive coaching he's ever had.
Oh,
Sean McVay is very good at what he does, right?
Skip, I gave it a C, but would I have done the deal? Hell yeah.
Okay? All right?
Yeah, I got to do that.
To your friend's point, there's no price that's too steep if you can get him now.
Right.
When your team is on the rise and you can stick him in a quarterback, it's unheard of. Not only did you gain him, but thanks to Brad Holmes, who used to be your director of college scouting with the Rams, who's now running the operation in Detroit, Brad Holmes helped make the mistake of drafting Jared Goff, and then he helped facilitate you getting out from under Jared Goff, right?
Yeah.
Which is also very hard to do.
It is, because to have someone to eat that contract.
Yes.
Matthew Stafford contract is very friendly. I mean, it's $43 million over the next 2 years. Now, they're probably going to give him an extension.
Maybe they will.
But you're absolutely right. But I believe Detroit basically said, look, the amount of games that we're winning with Matthew Stafford, we can win without him.
Yeah.
We can win 4 or 5 games without Matthew Stafford, just like we won 4 or 5 games with him. So why not, since we're going to rebuild, why not? Hold on just a second. Jim Caldwell had this thing cruising right along.
He did.
And then here come Matt Patricia.
I agree.
And now they rebuild. 3 years after Matt Patricia get their skip, they're tearing the whole thing down, starting from scratch.
Thank you. And he's back with Belichick.
He's back with Coach
where he
Belichick.
belonged from the start.
And Matthew Stafford said, you can trade me anywhere you want to.
Okay.
Just don't trade me there.
Okay. I love what the Rams do because Les Snead is go for broke.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Glanville once referred to the NFL as not for long.
Not for long.
It's pay me now, not pay later, pay me now. Just whatever you have to do, just pay for it now. 1 year at a time, take your shot, shoot the moon, go for the throat, go for the jugular. They went for the jugular with the Jalen Ramsey deal, and they said, we want him, and he's really good. I thought he played small at Green Bay, but maybe he can rise to the occasion with a better quarterback. And obviously, he was done with Jared Goff when he tweeted about him the other day and was campaigning for Deshaun to wind up.
But what did I tell you, Skip? I said he's just taking his cue from the general manager and the head coach because they were done with it.
They seemed done with it. What they were talking about, well, he's our quarterback today, but they probably knew that the deal was not only in the works, it was close to being finished.
The thing is with Les Snead, Skip, and you play Texas Hold'em, he just shoves in every hand.
Every
so
hand.
you don't know if he got the nuts for real or he got 10 twos offsuit. You have no idea because every time, all in. Skip, he went all in. Aaron Donald, he goes all in. Jalen Ramsey, all in. Jared Goff, he went all in. He went all in with Todd Gurley. He goes up, they go all in basically seemingly every year. And this is another situation in 2021. They shoved all their chips to the center of the table, said, we're going all in.
And I don't blame them. You have to pick the right move to make. You have to pull the right card. And they pulled Matthew Stafford, and they made a run at Aaron Rodgers just to make, are you sure he's not available? No, he's not available. Right?
Yeah, hold on. Skip, I can't even believe that Sean McVay would even call his buddy. That's his best friend.
Well, just to make sure. I know, do that? But has the bridge been burned with Aaron Rodgers? You know, are they ready to go forward, Jordan Love? You might as well kick those tires.
No, I don't care, Skip Bayless. You can't call your best friend if he's having a bad. If he's in a relationship with a bad, she bad. Oh, she a 15-piece. You can't call your friend if you hear they have it. Probably tell me, hey, bro, you mind if I shoot my shot? No, you can't do that. That's your best friend at Green Bay, Sean McVay. How you do it like that?
I don't think Sean made the call. I think Les Snead made it to Gutekunst, the GM.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But Sean McVay, no, he's like, look here. We go stay away from that. That's just like, okay, you put your boy up to it. Hey, brother, such a one want to holler at your girl since y'all have a problem. No. But I don't blame him. I did the exact same thing. Because if I get Aaron Rodgers, Skip, now you know that would have definitely swung the pendulum of power.
Okay.
But that, Skip, that's a steep price now. But you said this on numerous occasions. There's not a price too steep if you can get that guy. You believe they got the guy.
It's the ultimate position in all of sports.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, Clayton Kershaw plays the ultimate position, but he can only play it every fifth game, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so that waters down the value and impact of a baseball pitcher.
Right.
But this guy can pitch every game.
Right.
And they got out from under a guy who led this league in total turnovers over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
You can't win that way.
No.
It won't work. So now Jared Goff got his money from the Rams. He did help get them to a Super Bowl, and then he came up incredibly small in that Super Bowl, and Belichick got way too much credit for shutting down McVay's offense. He was shutting down an overrated Jared Goff.
Right.
That's what was happening to me.
Hey, I believe Matthew Stafford is going to be in the MVP discussion.
Really?
In this offense, no offense has produced more MVPs in the regular season, more Super Bowl MVPs. You look at Joe Montana, Steve Young, Elway, Favre, Rodgers. All of them was in this offense. Mahomes. That's the West Coast system, Skip. Sean McVay learned from Kyle Shanahan.
Are you sure you don't want to make your C a B plus? B plus?
I had to, Skip, like I said, the thing that really scares me, his ability is A plus.
It is.
The injury history concerns me, especially if he had a half the injuries. I said, okay, I can live with it. But it seems like every year there's a ticky-tack injury, and I don't know, is he going to be a guy like Brady that says, you know what? Hell, I'm going all in on training. I'm going all in. I'm doing this, drinking water, avocado ice cream, whatever the case may be, hyperbaric chambers and all that. Because if he does, with his skill set in that offense.
Okay. Bruce Arians, he's tough as nails, and his teammates know it. Is that what he'll immediately show the Rams?
Yeah, he can spin it, Skip.
Okay.
He's special. He can spin the ball. He can spin the football.
Okay. Just to demonstrate how difficult it is in this league to find a quarterback, if you look back at all the drafts from 2009 to 2016, all the first-round quarterbacks taken, only one is left at his original team. Only one remains. And that's your man, walk it to him, Wentz, who got replaced by Jalen Hurts at the end of last season.
And that might not be true. That might not be true at the end of the day.
He might not stay. It might go down to 0.
Yes.
But obviously it was Goff and Matthew. You know, they were 2 left on the list, and then they swapped, so it dropped to 1.
Wow.
Wow.
It just shows you how hard it is.
This escalated quickly.
It did. It escalated very quickly. It was clear the Rams were ready to move on from Jared Goff and willing to pay whatever price was needed, right?
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.